All right, so I'm here with Ike Gill and Anthony Cardillo of Dox Cardio Water. Thanks, guys, for having me. And
thank you for having us.
And Ike here is the new CEO, so maybe we can just start with a little background on where the company's at and maybe a little bit about the plans going forward.
Sure. Maybe you can introduce yourself as well, as far as where you're coming from and what your goals are for leadership of our company as well.
Yeah, I'm Ike Gill. I just most recently was the Chief Operating Officer of One Natural Experience, the coconut water company. Prior to that, I've had my career has been in the bottled water industry with leading positions with the Perrier Group, Danone, and I was also COO of Penta Water. Okay. As far as our product here goes, this is the first product that's been developed. There's a number of products in development, and this product was just launched in Southern California in January. We've gained distribution in Whole Foods. It's doing very well. Some Whole Foods have sold as much as 75 cases in a 60-day period. We are currently getting distribution in UNFI and hope to have national distribution by the end of the year at UNFI and in the health food channel.
Cool. And I guess, Anthony, you've been at it since the beginning.
Yeah.
I guess I'm kind of curious just to also ask, how maybe or your expectations going in and maybe reality, how that's kind of worked out so far.
Yeah. Good question. First, I'll have to say that my other two partners are not here. They're actually working.
The Dox.
Yeah, the Dox. The other two partners of the Dox. So we are three active working physicians. Myself and Dr. Dorian are ER doctors from the emergency department, and Dr. Castillo is an internist. And we started basically 2.5 years ago with this concept of starting a beverage company. We knew nothing about the beverage industry whatsoever. We just thought you create a product and then somehow it gets sold. And that whole process in between we knew nothing about. So it's been a wonderful learning experience. It's been a very steep learning curve, learning about the subtleties of the industry and really what it takes to market and sell a product. And so we had much different expectations when we first started than we do now. Now we're focusing a lot of our energies on the marketing and the branding and the demoing and the education that goes into selling a product. We just kind of thought early on that you create a product and it sells. We've learned that doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, I guess now that you have some beverage experience alongside of medical experience that helped you create the product, are there plans to expand the product suite or?
Certainly. And that was a very big decision for us, is to bring on a beverage expert, someone who can lead the company. We're all very hands-on people, the three of us, but we realized the necessity to have someone who had a very deep background in the beverage world, and Ike fit that fit perfectly for us. And now that we have that leadership, we are actually in the process right now of developing the entire suite of beverages for the Dox line. So just briefly, the Dox doctor developed concept is the branded concept. Cardillo water is our first beverage. The next extension from that is going to be different flavor profiles. And so coming out very shortly, we have a goji berry, we have a Fuji apple pear flavor, we have the green tea lemon, and then we have the pomegranate grape. So that's the most immediate development that's happening right now, is the flavor extension.
And those are all resveratrol based?
All resveratrol based. So the active ingredient in Cardillo water is the resveratrol. We've been telling patients for a long time, drink a glass of red wine, it's good for your heart. We all know about that. Well, it was finally quantified what was in the red wine that was good for you, and that's the resveratrol. It's been heavily studied. The research on it is phenomenal. It does have a lot of organ-specific benefits. In fact, there's an article released 2 weeks ago talking about vision and eye repair. It's an amazing study that was done in a very reputable article showing the effects of resveratrol on the vasculature of the eye. We, being ER doctors, decided to focus on the heart and cardiovascular health. There's an amazing amount of literature about cardiovascular performance and health with resveratrol, and that's why we have Cardillo water. So our first line was the Cardillo water. Our next extension would be the 4 flavors for the Cardillo water coming out very shortly. We do have other lineups for the Dox, doctor-developed, branded concept. We have our energy drink, which is called Doctane, so like octane, but
Sure.
with the doctor component, so it's Doctane. It's a very healthy, focused energy beverage. Then we have a recovery drink that we've created as well. That's in the formulation process right now, and that's called First Aid, like Band-Aid, but First Aid. And so we're excited about those two extensions as well. Those probably won't be in full development for at least another 6 to 9 months, however. We're focusing on Cardillo water now and getting a very good penetrance of this product in the marketplace. Now with Ike's help, we're going to, I think, be very successful in doing that.
Cool. So I understand, obviously, your reasons for getting into this. I guess, Ike, with the beverage background, what, brought you to this concept? I mean, what sort of is appealing about it? And what's the potential?
I think what was appealing about it is it's a functional drink, but I think the consumer, the main consumer, don't believe much in functionality. I mean, it's very hard to get that across to the consumer. I think in their case, they're doctors. I mean, they bring the credibility to their product. So I think our communication in terms of the functionality of our product is a lot easier because we have them backing it up.
Sure.
Okay, the ER doctors and Guillermo. So that's what attracted me to the brand, and I think the brand. When I was at Penta, we had a big trying to convey the functionality of that product was a challenge because people didn't believe it.
Sure.
I think here people are going to believe it because it's developed by the doctors. It's attacking certain organs. We'll be concentrating on various organs, and so it'll be very, very targeted and very clear communication on why this should be had. And actually, this drink you should be having one a day, really, because you couldn't drink enough red wine to get the benefits of what's in one bottle of these. So that's what attracted me to this. I think the potential for this is large. I would say that within 3 to 5 years, we hope that we're at least a $75 million sales company.
And how much do you guys think taste factors into why someone buys a Dox product?
I think at the end of the day, taste is crucial. I mean, if the consumer doesn't like the taste of the product, they're not going to buy it, no matter how good it is. And so I think that's key.
It's a fine balance. I mean, there is a tolerance level for certain beverages that are going into the realm of more of a nutraceutical product. Kombucha is the classic example. It's like drinking vinegar.
Right, but it didn't taste bad, it doesn't work.
Exactly. So there's that concept. And so it's that fine line between letting a consumer know that there's something in there that's good for you that isn't just doesn't just dissolve away in the mouth, behind the great taste, but it has to have a pleasant taste, I think, to have sustainability. I think a lot of the fad drinks that come and go, sometimes they don't taste that good, but there's a functionality, and eventually you just get tired of drinking it because it doesn't taste that well. So like I said, it's an important factor to make it taste good, and that's always a difficult challenge when dealing with nutraceuticals. Resveratrol is a very bitter compound, but I think we've really done a lot of due diligence in getting this product to taste as best it possibly can. And it's a very pleasant taste, everyone loves it. It's a pomegranate, great flavor. We're using a pomegranate extract, and then we use organic cane sugar, some stevia, and a little bit of erythritol to balance off the resveratrol, the bitterness. So that bitterness dissolves, but I think it's a nice balance. You have a nutraceutical product that tastes really great.
And do you think resveratrol as kind of a concept is gaining momentum, or?
Oh, certainly. Just within the medical literature, it's exploded over the last 5 years. There's an amazing consumer demand for just resveratrol in pill form. We noticed that in the last 5 years. And there's a lot of literature coming into the medical journals substantiating and supporting a lot of the benefits of the resveratrol. So the consumer is gaining a lot of education about this product, this resveratrol, from other sources, not even through us. And and we're happy about that because it's driving that entire industry selling resveratrol. We are the only mainstream lifestyle beverage right now that has this amount of resveratrol in it. There are some that have 5 milligrams, 10, 25. You know, we have a substantial, we have 300 milligrams per serving, 8-ounce serving. So at 450 milligrams per bottle, you're getting a very hefty dose of resveratrol. And we did that purposely because that's what the medical literature supported. So you know, we're physicians, so we have to stand behind our product in that capacity.
So I guess one other thing I'd ask, you know, we've seen a lot of companies that have, you know, a medical professional that have been a part of them, you know, maybe in some cases they've had beverage experts with them, maybe not. Have you kind of been able to learn anything from those companies? I mean, none of which have been massively successful yet, so it's a model that hasn't proven to work.
Right. I think the most important thing is you have to stand behind your product as the physician, and you have to keep it simple. I think in looking, and I think the other companies have done a tremendous job in bringing wonderful products out there to the market. I think there may have been a little bit of an overzealous response where multiple versions were coming out and product lines and different flavors, and it just got too complicated. I think as a physician you have to keep it simple, and people will believe you if you have a very reputable product. For us, it's resveratrol, very well tested, very well known in the medical community, and so we're sticking with that without trying to clutter our offerings right now.
Sure. So sort of do one thing, do it well.
Do it well, exactly, and stand behind your product. As physicians, we really have to have a product that we believe in and we have faith in. So we have to have an adequate amount of resveratrol in this bottle to substantiate the claims.
Gotcha.
And I think, yeah, it's just do one thing, do it right, keep it simple, and that's our motto right now.
Okay, and I guess one last question. The FDA, that's something that's been on a lot of people's minds lately.
Yes.
Do you take that as something that's an advantage, a disadvantage?
In one respect, it's an advantage because I think it's going to weed out a lot of the companies that have pushed the envelope a little bit. There's no doubt the FDA is coming down strong on the differentiation between a nutrition panel versus a supplement panel and which types of products fall into those realms.
Of course.
We've gone to great lengths to package our product, so it's a little bit different than you know, the average beverage you'd see on a shelf. So you know, we can put a supplement panel on the back of our beverage now. But they're making it very difficult, obviously, for a lot of companies. We're hoping that we can follow their guidelines and stay within their guidelines and have a product that meets their needs as well as the consumer needs. There is a strong demand for resveratrol. Our biggest limitation may be that the FDA limits how much we can put into the bottle. As of now, resveratrol does not have GRAS status through the FDA. It's only self-GRAS through one of the companies that makes it at a very much lower level. So we'll have to see what happens. We are, you know, as we said, we're physicians, so we are obligated, you know, from a higher oath to make sure that we're following these guidelines and we're doing the best we can to make sure that we meet the FDA, you know, their needs.
Cool. All right.
At the same time, trying to have a successful company.
Of course. Well, that's the bottom line. It's the most important thing at the end of the day. So, all right. Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you for your time, John. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
John.